before. I have no idea if this is going to be a live only or if it's recording for future playback. So it's my first video. I'm still figuring out streaming. So beg pardon in case it's kind of boring or stupid. There's presently no viewers live. This is for the WeatherWise app. A couple of people in Ryan Hall's feed were talking about questions about how to use it. Just going to do a basic overview. Basically, here you have, I'm a Plus member, so you won't have some of these features. And for the most part, most users, unless you're out really studying it or out on the road chasing, you probably won't use a lot of these features that they do have. So the basics fine for most people. Here at the top, we have the radar tab, which will show you any of the radar. Satellite, of course, is going to be your satellite view. You switch different Go satellites. Really don't use that much. Outlook, Storm Prediction Center, your mesoscale discussion. You go all the way down to different drought, precipitation, snow for the winter, the more northern climates. Multi-day weather, precipitation forecast, excessive rainfall, thunderstorms is going to be your basic day one outlook. This particular outlook is through the center of the country from basically central southeast Texas to the Great Lakes. 40% chance between 11 o'clock tonight, 7 a.m. Then you drop back to a 10% to the rest of this area that's shaded. Move out so we don't forget our West Coasters. Categorical, day one is today by default always. Slight risk category from San Antonio, Houston up to Jonesboro, Arkansas, almost Missouri Boot Heel, Central, looks like in Indiana and Illinois. That's today, which is almost over. Day two tomorrow expands back to Central Texas, a little bit of the Panhandle into Oklahoma, and then clean up to Toronto, a pretty wide area. Ryan was talking about how big this was. For tomorrow, day three, we drop to a slight or a marginal risk. Do that same area, just about general risk for probably lower third, 2/3 of the country, up to New England, out to the West Coast, down the Gulf Coast. Call it what you will, Mexico, America. I'm not getting into that political discussion. Categorical, you can do by tornado for day one today. A little bit in there. 5%. You check your meter at the top, your scale, or key, legend, whichever you prefer to call it. Day two, doesn't look like there's much. A 2% chance from the lower Mississippi Valley area, just north of that, up into Indiana. West Tennessee up to middle Tennessee. Wind, looks like day one will be today, which I'm not even going to cover the day one stuff since today's almost over. Day two, looks like wind is going to be your main driver for the event for tomorrow for day two. Day three, or sorry, hail. You got a little 10% hatch, 15%, I'm sorry, hatch area for Texas and Oklahoma. Everything else is about a 5% hail risk. Probabilistic, that's where your day three kicks in. So runs from western Texas up to Toronto, Rochester, Buffalo area, and everywhere in between. Day four, you don't really see much. Of course, anything outside of day four, sometimes it gets hard for that to, and I don't know if this is pulled from HRRR or Weather Service. I'm not sure who provides this. I'm not that advanced. Day five, same thing. We've already gone through thunderstorm. That's day one, just today, what's left of today into 7 a.m. I guess that's based off of my clock. I'm Central Time. Let's go back over to radar. See your main WeatherWise drop down. That's where you can go to your app. I'm on a Mac, app for Mac on this particular feed here. My preferences, map keys, Twitter, X, credits. Let's see. Special thanks. didn't know if it had any developers. I do not know who the developers are. I'm not associated with WeatherWise. I'm not associated with Ryan Hall. Ryan is partnered with them, but he is not the developer. I see a bunch of people asking that in there, but he is working with them. You can submit issues with the map. Pardon me for 1 minute. Sorry. High pollen today. Let's see, what was I talking about? Submitting errors. I think you can do that. I know you can do it on the app. I don't on the phone app. If there's a little red question mark, you can submit what the problem is, or I think there's somewhere to submit suggestions. Speaking of this button up here, now you can do a screenshot. You can do an MP4 screen record, share the map, current map. Say you had a, let's see, what do we got for storms in Texas? Okay, thunderstorm. Say you wanted to share this, you could click that. It shares it through a link, I believe. Reddit, Telegram, Twitter, WhatsApp, text, Facebook, whatever your copy it, whatever your choice is. Hascams. Okay, let's see. Is anybody live? I doubt it. I don't see anything that stands out. Let's look up in Iowa. What I'm looking for is a icon with a face. That usually indicates somebody's streaming, but everybody's probably done for the night since it's winding down. Spotter Network. These are people that are registered with the Storm Spotter Network. I don't know how it puts it on here. I don't know if it shows me on here because I'm me, but I am a registered person on Storm Network, or Spotter Network rather. Let's say you want to see who this is. Forrest Bowman, just as an example, last update just now. You can click on it. It may have their information, like your email, current location, or last reported location, any additional information. If you do see somebody with the phone number out chasing, don't call them. They're trying to watch the weather and all their stuff. Follow them if they've got social media, especially some of your bigger guys. Brandon Kopic, Brett Adair, Corey Gherkin, just to name a few. And there's plenty others. A lot of good feeds that you can go watch. Back to WeatherWise app. So you can do split view. So you hear a lot of the guys talking about velocity. So say you want to watch, we don't have any tornado warnings, so I can show you, but it's not as exciting. Let's go down to the storm here. So let's look around Crockett and Grapeland, Texas. That's currently warned severe thunderstorm headed toward David Crockett National Forest. And this shows your wind fields. You can go through and change it down here. Shows me what, make sure you're live. Your live has to show up for it to work right. Otherwise you don't have a good feed. Radar's precipitation mode. Tilts at 1/2 degree. That's going to be the lowest tilt, looking straighter out instead of up into the sky. You can change map 1, map 2. So let's say velocity is 2. Let's see if we want to see if there's any hail in this particular storm. That's your VIL, vertical integrated liquid. So up around here, let's see, turn this little locator on, and let's go over here on the right side of that purple. That's going to be your heaviest. 79.5 kilograms per meter squared at 18,800 feet. So that's where your heaviest hail is occurring. The lower your number, the lower or less severe your hail is, usually smaller in diameter, not necessarily, it's based on volume, it's reflectivity. So we know that right here, if you look on the left pane and on the right pane where our little crossed areas, reflectivity is at 56.4 dBz. I've got the rainfall rate per hour turned on. It's 4.8 inches an hour is what that projected rate is. There was a 5. Yep, 5 right there popped up. So doesn't mean they're going to get 5 inches. It just depends on how fast it hangs around there and keeps moving. It's a good setup for possible flood potential. You can change the different ones. You'll hear Ryan and others talk about CC drop, correlation coefficient. Usually that's any debris that a storm is lofting up in the air. You look for things that don't belong there. Now there's a lot of stuff that's not related. That's kind of out. Let's see, data here. Probably a lot of clutter. Could be heavy rain. I'll let the others explain that better. There's no reason to really be checking this right now because there's no active tornado warnings that I'm aware of. but you can check your different types, your precipitation type. Some of this stuff I do not know what it means. I'm not a meteorologist, don't have a degree. I'm just a user that's poked around, watched other people, and played with it. You can log in, it'll save your settings, create a login. It's no spam or anything. You don't have to have a paid plus account to register. Storm tracks, all of these. I don't know what the minute increments are on that. You can turn it off if it clutters your screen. Lightning Plus is part of the 3D or the Plus package. I'm sorry. You can turn lightning off. Your dots. Standard, which is what standard users and free users get, will show your lightning bolts. Max scans on your playback. So you want to go and play your radar here. Default is 15 scans that it'll show. Plus, you can go up to 100 scans as a plus member, which is, say you want to watch where storms develop, warnings are issued. It shows all of that in the playback as they're issued. I'm United States, so my velocity, my metric, my units are miles per hour. Some people use knots, some will use feet per second, meters per second. That's kilometers per hour. Yeah, kilometers per hour for our metric friends. Pill code, a lot of people don't like the pill code. They'd rather have the dots. That's just for your radar site. Let's see. Let me find the radar. Okay, let's look at Shreveport. So instead of KSHV, we can just turn it to a tower to a dot. But I like it as the others because if I see a warning, I can see where it's issued out of. Or if I hear somebody say it, you can just turn that on and look if you know, like I'm in Memphis area. It's KNQA. So I know I can go straight up here. I mean, if you can't find yourself on the map, if you're not familiar with an area, entire state of Arkansas under watch, but that's a replay. Okay, so this is live. They've canceled all the watches in my area. So KNQA is Memphis area. Do your playback speed. Smoothing just shows how your radar reflectivity will look. If you turn your smoothing, I keep it kicked up a little bit. Some of the guys, they prefer it to be a little bit more. See your called, basically your like couplets, skits, whichever you want to call it. I think that's the correct term. Reflectivity gate filter. I know you don't want to really keep that up too high. I think a minimum of 10 dBz. I'm not familiar what that is, so I just keep it right there at the recommended, all the way up to 90. Pardon me again. Spring in the south, pollen's in the air. You can customize color tables, whatever you want. I just keep it default. You can choose your colors. I think Ryan is working on a possible y'all button he mentioned, which may import some of his settings for those that like to follow along at home, but he'd know more about that than me. Jeez. Where was I? Okay, I think I covered everything on the radar. Back. Map 2, I showed you that. You can just change, say, let's change this back since we're on a split view to velocity. That would show any winds to and from the radar. I think red is away and green is towards. I may have that backwards. Let's reduce that. Check all my settings as normal. Okay, here's your alerts tab. And you have all, just show watches, warnings, advisory, statements, tropical. I just usually keep it on all, but I keep a lot turned off. And if you want to just like have them all not show up, you can click this little show not show I button here, and it'll take all your watches and warning boxes, your polygons, if you will, off. Settings, storm based, I don't keep flash flood warning and that on. Typically tornado watch, you can customize these as you want. It just makes the list very long if you turn them on. Winter, I've got everything but the basics: freeze watch, winter storm watch, weather advisory, all that. I've got that turned off, or on rather. Everything else turned off because it's nowhere near winter right now here. Hydro, water, I keep all that turned off. I don't live in a flood prone area. If you're out on the road or live in a flood prone area, probably a good idea to keep those turned on. Wind and air, I don't see much of these. Fog, dust advisory, we really don't get much of that here. Wind advisory we'll get. Freezing fog we'll get in the winter sometimes. Air quality alert, like, oh, I don't know, pollen, high ozone levels, dangerous levels. But that's how I keep mine. You can customize yours. It just depends on what all you want to show up. Let's see. So currently in our list we have 8 thunderstorm warnings right now, severe thunderstorms, and 2 watches, 7 advisories, and we got some winter weather advisories still going on in Alaska. Frost for New York, Vermont, and this is usually your radar associated with that. What that last box is, those are radar identifiers. Temperatures as low as 32. What's that? Maine, ME, Connecticut, Idaho, New York, special weather statements, wildfire, and so on. You see how the list works. Let's see. You just reduce that. Like I said, this is for the Mac. If you go to WeatherWise, go to their website, and it has where to download. I think for Windows, I know for Mac because I'm on a Mac, Android, iPhone, Linux users, I would say potentially SOL, but wait, you can actually go to web.weatherwise.app from any browser, and I don't know if I can click over to share that right now or not, but you can access the software anywhere that you have a computer browser, Safari, Chrome, Firefox, whatever your choice of browser is, and you can just go to that website and it will allow you to log in, and you can change your settings or save your settings. So I don't know if the settings follow your account across all platforms. I don't think they do. I think it's log in and it does for each device, but I might be wrong because I've got all mine set the same, and I logged in at different times. Let's see, let me try something real quick. Stop sharing for a moment. Let me open another tab here. Okay. Let's see if I can do this right. I'm new to this streaming business, so you'll have to pardon me. Chrome tab, WeatherWise. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is the web version here. You just web.weatherwise.app, and it will take you. You can go through up here. My account, which, yeah, I'm logged in. That's me. So what do I have? 22, 28. So I've got something set different on here than I do on my Mac app. Same thing. And you go through, minimize that. There's the question mark estimate. It doesn't show up on the Mac app. It shows up on the iPhone, iOS, and on obviously the web browser. You click that. You can do a feature request, general feedback, tell us what's wrong. So if you see a feature on there that you'd say, hey, can y'all add this? Doesn't mean they'll add it, but they're open to suggestions. They're good guys to work with. I've talked to them fairly regularly. I don't know who they are. I don't know who the developers are, but they're pretty open to suggestions as long as it's within reason, something they can easily handle. Your suggestion may wind up being something that happens for Plus members, or it can be for regular basic users. That would probably be up to them to determine, I guess, based off the maybe the level of difficulty or the need, if that's something that a premium member or Plus member would need. And you just click that, and, click there, give them general feedback. Hey, I love the app, or if something's not working. Sometimes the Mac app does get a little buggy. I've noticed that it'll freeze up, or even on the phone, if you have it open in the background, it may get out of date. So I just swipe close out of it and reopen it, and everything comes up, because I've seen warnings that weren't there on my app that were actually active warnings. So sometimes it does do that. It hadn't done that lately, but just be aware, especially if you've had it open a long time and you've got weather in your area. Let's see, I can't do it. I don't think I can do it on here. Maybe I can. Navigation, I didn't cover navigation. Okay, you can do locate me. It'll, based on your location, allow while visiting the site. In QA is where I'm at. That's actually the red dot is where I physically at. This area out here, Bartlett, Tennessee, outside of Memphis. Good place to live. Navigation. You can do storm chaser mode. And if you're on your phone, I think it's, no, I don't know if it's Brett. I think it's Brandon Coptic. He uses WeatherWise. If you ever watch his stream, you'll notice he'll have his video camera feed out the dash or out the windshield. And in the corner, it will have his radar. It'll have the little dot, his location, and it follows him, shows the radar where he's at. So you can actually log into the same account on the browser or the computer app and turn on chase mode on your phone. You have to be logged in the same account, and it will show you on your computer where you are on the phone. I think that's how he imports it in, but I'm not real sure. I'd love to get a chance to ask him. So I think it's Brandon. If it's somebody else, I apologize, I'm wrong. Would love to hear who it is and from who it is that's doing that, because I'd like to have more knowledge on how to import all of that. Let's see, do I have anybody on here? No, okay. Like I said, I don't know if this is recorded or not. Oh, this was a feature. Man, what's the weather? What's happening? Anybody watch Ryan Hall? Enjoy this one, appreciate it. That's happening a little bit northeast of me. Let's see what's going on in Clarksville. Everybody knows Clarksville. That's the running joke for those that don't know it. For some, I always ask them about Clarksville because they had several days in a row about a month ago hammered. Clarksville. So, oh yeah, my freaking Mac app crashed again searching. So let's try it on the web. Actually, I'm not sharing the web. Never mind. Or I'm got it on there. So let's try it. Here is your search bar. Am I still sharing the right screen? Yes. Okay. Technical difficulties. Don't blast me, please. Still new with this. All right, Clarksville, Tennessee. All right, so it jumps to that. All right, so there's either some ground clutter or they got light rain. It's probably, yeah, it's ground clutter. KHPX. That is in Kentucky, near Pembroke. Is that near Hopkinsville? I guess that's Hopkinsville, HPX. But whenever you search, it will automatically jump to the radar for that area. So you don't just get like a blank screen. It will go active. When you select the radar, it turns green. Like in QA, my home radar is black. About the yellow buttons, those are airport terminal radar. Airport area, one we didn't cover. So 3D mode, I think, is for Plus members. So that allows you to tilt the screen. If you're using a phone, I think you drag from the bottom. If you're using back up, north being up on all maps, for those that don't know. Let's see. But there's also live view cams like this one here. You click it, looks kind of like a satellite camera. So this is at Clifton, Tennessee, and it is a view of, is that the Rooster House? Is that the Rooster House? One of them's got a big giant rooster. Of course, it's night Pacific. 11 minutes. That's weird. Not very much area there. We just came out of our watch area about 45 minutes. It's usually stuff that's less than severe but can be damaging. Impact Carroll, Grenada, eastern LaFleur, northwestern Montgomery, southeastern Humphrey. Tracking strong storms along the line extending 7 miles northwest of LaFleur near Thornton. Movement was east at 30. Wind gust to 50, so it's underneath severe 58 or more severe limits. Radar indicated gusty winds could knock down trees and limbs. Strong thunderstorms would be near Avalon, Greenwood, Thornton, Kruger, Sidon, LaFleur around 10:20, which was about 35 minutes ago. Chula, Holcomb, and Teoc around 20:25. I'm not going to go through all this because it's probably about to expire anyway. Issued 38 minutes ago. Expires in 21, so it's almost an hour-long warning, or not warning, advisory. Ooh, something just happened to my WeatherWise app. It just went completely white on my other one. Stand by while I close that. I don't know what happened. It's still a little buggy. I need to get with them, but there's no way to report it from that app. I think that's pretty much it for the basics. We talked about screenshotting, recording, sharing, Hascams for your live stream webcams that are piped into the Hascam network, and some spotters or chasers. Spotter network, split view we talked about, navigation we talked about, drawing, I guess you can telestrate, so you had, let me see if I can find, whoops, let me turn that off. Let's go to Shreveport here. This line's moving off probably to the east. Let's put it in motion and see. I guess my stream's probably cutting down. Let me just pause it, but you can't rock back and forth. So they are working on that. There again, that's your pinpointer cross, or whoops, turn that off. Where did it go? I thought I erased that. My bad. Draw, erase, then close. Okay. Let's see. Minnie, Louisiana. Okay, that's I guess that's a river. That's central Louisiana, or Weather. I don't know. I guess that's a media outlet. 4 people viewing, 76 degrees, currently 82% humidity, winds north at 6. You can share it. Daytime's a lot better time to look at these, or if there's a lot of lightning, sometimes you can get a good backlit shot if there's severe weather, as most of us, and wait for the next flash and hope you see the same thing. I don't think there's really any other features that I can think of. Covered all the radar types, tilt, and some radars have a different lower tilt. Is 0.5 here, that one's 0.3, and that's just a type of radar or whatever it is. Discussions, let's see, I see a mesoscale discussion here, which expires 28 minutes ago, which means it expired. Oh, I'm playing, never mind, that's why. I was in playback mode, but I paused it because I didn't think we were under any more mesoscale discussions. Those will show up in red, like a red outline off of their website. It just imports it in, and I've got that turned on under discussions here, mesoscale 1, which I didn't see one. Yeah, and I've got my state outlines. You can change your color. You can change several things in your map. Let me see my map. I thought there was a map feature on here. My account. No, not that. I'm probably missing it somewhere. Like I said, I've been using it about 2 months. I love it. I've used radar scope before, but not nearly as intensely. Not knocking Shreveport. Okay, okay. Sometimes you have to turn this stuff on with different radars, or it may be because I'm on the web and I don't think. I guess I am logged in. But there's somewhere that you can go through. I know you can on the app to pardon me, to adjust all of that. Phone users, it doesn't go to landscape, or it didn't. I don't know if they've updated it. Let's see. Got my handy dandy electronic leash right here. Let's look and see. Okay, no, on phone modes, it's only portrait. It doesn't tilt to landscape. There's my camera. It doesn't tilt. iPad users, you can turn the device and it will go to a wider landscape mode. I wish they kind of do that with the iPhone. They make that suggestion, though they probably already had it. I don't know how difficult it is, but I really want to know where this is. Let's see. Manage subscription, draw. Okay. It doesn't have the map settings on, I'm on the, this is the web view right here. Let's go to, let me jump back over to the WeatherWise app for Mac. Let's see. No. WeatherWise. Okay. We on there? Yep. All right. Okay, so the Mac version doesn't have it either. If you phone, I'm gonna try and do this and see if it shows up. If you go on your phone here, that's probably not going to show up because this is an old, it's 1080, but it's an old camera. I don't think it's got any macro. But up in the corner where the WeatherWise app is, there's a drop-down menu, and it says map settings. And you can do satellite or default. So if you zoom in on a clear day, the houses are blocked on, it's pulled to map box is the mapping, open streets. But you can do buildings versus just like a street map. It's like satellite versus streets, and any of your main map software. Country settings, borders, you can change how thick, the color, font size, the labels, state settings, the thickness of the border, the color. I've got mine red. County border settings, you change the color, the thickness. Settlement settings, I don't even know what that is. You can go to, let me go to my preferences. Dark mode, left-handed mode, that's new. Okay. Left-handed mode moves your report suggest button and your this is the same on the phone. Your 3 lines at the bottom is the same. 3 lines at the top, it just moves it down here. But preferences, where did it go? Oh, wrong one. My map settings, nope, my bad. My preferences, left-handed mode for you lefties or people that, you know, if you want it quicker there, if you're like me, keep that thumb there, you can just move them, it'll move them to the left side of the screen. Keep mine dark mode off or on, whatever your preference is. Probably in a car, driving at night, if you're chasing or out in anything want to watch, it probably keeps the glare off. Not real familiar with that. I don't use dark mode a lot. But I do like it better now I'm looking at it. So that's pretty much your basic coverage that I'm aware of. They're upgrading. It'll push when there's an update. It's automatic. If you got automatic updates on software on, it will let you know a splash screen when you open the software what new updates they did or features they've added or any bug changes they've made. They're pretty good about it. I've probably gotten about one a week or every week and a half since I've been using it. Like I said, a month and a half, 2 months. It's great. I think they're on X, Twitter. I know they have Facebook. They do not have Instagram, to my knowledge, if you use that. But, you know, any questions, comment, reach out to me. I guess you can post comments after if this is live and recorded. I don't know if it is. No one's joined in, but I've got it publicly published, I think. Like I said, this is my first time streaming. I may be wrong. Or you can reach out to me. My present handle on Instagram is Mower Blade Service, as in lawnmower blade, MOWER blade service. Just send me a message and I'll be glad to try and help. I'm not associated or affiliated with WeatherWise or anybody else. I'm just a user of it. I love it. I've complimented them highly on it, pushed it where I can publicly. So, you know, be more than glad to help. Hopefully, if this video is archived, is alive, that if I've helped someone, hopefully I haven't bored anybody. And pardon the allergy, sinus, sneezing, blowing nose, stuffiness. But that's it. Have a good evening, and I appreciate the views.